A few days ago, I was looking through my arsenal of weapons in Elden Ring when something caught my eye. The Armor of Night is easily one of the coolest sets in the game, but what really stood out to me wasn't the armor, but its matching gear, specifically the Shield of Night. In this video, I'll be attempting to beat Elden Ring only using the Shield of Night. However, there is a catch. Simply attacking with the shield would be far too easy of a task, which is exactly why I limited myself to using only its Ash of War, Revenge of the Night. No attacking, no summons. I am not able to deal damage unless it is with this Ash of War. If you're not familiar, the Shield of Night fires a relatively slow moving projectile, and it scales exclusively in dexterity, while also doing magic damage. Now some of you may be thinking, oh, that doesn't sound too bad, it has range, it only costs 5 FP to use, and that's where you'd be wrong. While it is true that the range and low FP cost are benefits, they are also the only benefits. Despite being a ranged attack, the projectile travels such a short distance that you might as well use it up close. What's even more pathetic is that it oftentimes misses enemies completely or moves too slow to hit one. And on top of all that, it takes around 2 seconds to fire, meaning that for faster bosses, the window you have to deal damage is minuscule. Oh yeah, and speaking of damage, having said that, this is probably one of the worst Ashes of War I've ever used, so I came up with a plan to maximize my damage potential. Before we get started though, consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like these. They take really long to make, so seeing your support would really help me out. Anyway,
let's get to it.
First and foremost, I created a new character. I chose the warrior class to immediately meet the shield's dexterity requirement, while also keeping strength low, which I'll explain soon enough. Next, I stepped out of the Chapel of Anticipation, and I picked up the only way of defending myself for the next couple of days. After getting Torrent, I visited EG to upgrade my shield to Somber 5, then headed straight over to poor old defenseless Alexander, not only to test out my new damage, but to get the Warrior Jar Shard Talisman, which increases the damage of my Ash of War by 10%. Without much else left to do without another talisman pouch, I decided that the damage I currently had was way more than enough for Margit. Drink. That's fine.
Thou art of passing skill.
Bruh, that missed. Oh, I blocked that too. Alright, GG's. Oh, that was my last one too. That's crazy. Now that I had my second talisman pouch, it's time to explain my plan a little further. The next talisman I would be getting is the Red Feathered Branch Sword, which raises my attack power by 20%, with the only downside being that I needed less than 20% health to activate it. That's where the low strength comes in. Earlier when I was setting up, I bought an S-Dog, which requires 11 strength to wield. The fact that I cannot wield it though is a good thing, because after getting the Bloody Slash Ash of War from Fort Height and putting it on the S-Stock, I can now safely get myself to under 20% HP to activate the buff without using any FP. If I did have enough strength to wield it, not only would the animation take longer, but it would consume FP as well, which I obviously rely on for the shield. Now before we move on to Godrick, there is a slight issue. To get the Red Feather Talisman, I had to defeat a Death Bird. Now I don't know about you, but I hate fighting these things, and I desperately needed more damage anyway. So I started Raya's questline and took her hand to Volcano Manor, where I then plundered a Somber 6 and would be back for the 7 soon, which mocked me just out of reach.
Is he stuck?
I totally forgot to buff. Oh well, okay, thanks man. Oh no! Oh my god. Bro, what health am I at? Oh, damn. Bro! Let's go.
Of all that is golden, and one day.
With my first shard bearer down, that left 3 options. Ronaldo was out due to her high magic resistance and 2 health bars, and Rykard was out since my projectiles wouldn't reach him, also 2 health bars. That left Radahn, who I hadn't fought nearly as much as other bosses, but was still the best choice by far. Quite foreseeably, it didn't go well at first, but don't think I forgot about the Somber 7 in Volcano Manor. Seeing as this was the only limit between me and a +9 weapon, I decided to challenge the Godskin Noble. Bruh, did you see that? You sure you don't want to keep throwing fireballs, bro? Uh-oh. Okay. Can I hit him? I totally can. No, my bubble. No. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. Why did I decide to do this, bro? Are you sure this doesn't work, bruh? Just like that, I got the Somber 7. I had just wasted so much time on Godskin Noble though, that I had decided to just see it through. And to add insult to injury, I got him on my 3rd try. Anyways, now that I had a +9 weapon, Radahn would surely be easier. Also, I forgot to mention, since the shield does half magic damage, I got the Magic Shroud and Crack tier earlier, which boosts my magic damage by 20%, as well as the Opaline Bubble tier. Since everything would kill me in one hit from now on, it was nice to have another chance if I messed up once over the 5 to 10 minute fights I was going through. Oh, that is so much better. Headshot. Oh, look at the dart. I'm going to sleep, bruh. And with that, not only did I have access into Landell, but a 3rd talisman pouch as well. Similar to the Magic Shroud and Crack tier, I went to Caria Manor and did Celavis's questline to get the Magic Scorpion Charm, which also increases magic damage. On top of that, I killed another Death Bird for the Twin Bird Kite Shield, which essentially does the same thing as the Red Feather Talisman, only to a lesser extent. That's good damage! It's okay, whatever, test one, but... Okay, I have just enough time. I could hit him from here. Let's go, 2nd try. Wow, yeah, he really couldn't do, he couldn't do anything. Oh, that was close. GG. Now that I had my 4th and final talisman pouch, since my shield scales with dexterity, I decided to cheese O'Neil and to progress Gowry's questline for the Prosthesis Wearer's Heirloom, only because I couldn't really think of anything better to fill the slot. One last thing I wanted to get was Golden Vow. However, I didn't feel like investing 25 levels in Faith, so I settled for the Ash of War instead. And finally, my build was complete, and the damage I currently had would more or less stay the same for the rest of the game. Two. What happened there? Okay, good first move. 700. Oh wow. There we go. Ah, classic. Okay, now that we got that out the way, Godskin Duo time. Just spawn him in. I'm not fighting you, bro. I wanted to golden vow. Bro, what a fucking life. That's two. Go on, call him in again. Call him in again, let's do it again.
he just shielded his boy. What? Let's go.
I was a bit concerned about Fire Giant and Godskin Duo at first, but all in all, I managed to take less than 30 deaths on them combined. It was now time for an actual hard boss, the bird segment. As with many other challenge runs, this part can be very annoying, and after serving its purpose and getting me annoyed, I decided it was high time to learn bird skill. There we go.
What? What was that?
Mind you, it only takes one tap for him to just ruin our day. Oh wait. Alright.
Yes! Oh my god.
'Twas noble.
No! What? Hit him there. Let's go! Nah, that was funny as hell. Right in his damn.
This officially marked the last leg of my journey. With the way it was going so far, I expected the final boss to not be too bad. Oh my god, was I wrong. To the point where I'm almost embarrassed to show this next part. Before we do continue though, there are some things about the bosses ahead to address. First of all, as many of you probably already know, Radagon can parry all types of spells, incantations, and skills just like mine. However, this can be easily circumvented by just waiting until his back is turned or when his attack chain finishes, unless he teleports away before the animation is finished. Another thing is that he recovers pretty fast from some attacks, which in turn limits the amount of moves I can punish. These two factors in combination make for an excruciatingly long fight, but the best part is, it's not even over after that. Elden Beast is known for chaining together attacks that make it borderline impossible to not get hit. And because I'm constantly a tickle away from death, I have to just pray that RNG is on my side, especially when he's doing Elden Stars or the Golden Shower. But anyways, enough about what I have to say, let's get to the fight.
You fuck! Really wants to grab me. Bro, do anything else. What? That's the first time I beat him. Ooh, that's damage. All that work on Radagon just to die to this f***ing move, bro. I can't believe it. Oh! Get the f away from me! Oh shit. I'm dead. That is so bad. I'm right by the wall. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm free! Holy sh**. Finally!
And that's the story of how I became Elden Lord using one of the worst Ashes of War in the game. In total, this run took around 23 hours, and editing it took even longer, so if you're still watching up until now, I appreciate you. Anyways, I think I never want to see or hear this shield again. Thank you for watching.